A professional race doesn't start when the lights turn green, it starts from the moment of its announcement. Proper preparation can be vital for any kind of race, and this is the case for MotoGP. I'm former MotoGP Esports World Champion Andrew Age, and I will tell you how to get better at MotoGP 21. Every year when a new MotoGP game is launched, I try to establish and improve certain routines which help me to prepare for esports races. These can be classified in 3 different steps. If they turn out helpful to you as well, leave a like and subscribe for many more helpful guides and tips. First, I read a lot of time attacks on the specific track. It is important to get a good feeling for the track and the bike, especially when changes have been made. Even if it is a track that I know very well, like Mugello for example, I try different bike configurations and search for the ideal line to get the fastest lap time possible. Those configurations and that line are my choice for the qualification session. Second, I try the same in a race with opponents to get a feeling for the new pacing. If some parameters don't work here, I change them. Even on the same track under the same conditions, you can't always go for the perfect line with traffic, so I need to adapt to that. I never stick too firmly to just one setup. I always race online, not against AI if possible. From that point on I can also start developing a strategy regarding my fuel and tire consumption, which I think will give me an advantage over my opponents. As a first step, when I found results that are fine by me, I try to refine the setups for qualifying sessions and races separately. I train with both setups to address minor issues and try to get the most out of them. This sometimes leads to slight changes and adjustments as well. This is the most difficult phase of preparation, as certain mechanical knowledge is needed in addition to in-game skills. When new to the game, the standard game setup can help, but as your understanding of the game's physics grows, it makes sense to make alterations directly in the setup. Those are my general routines and principles, but there is some other stuff to do beforehand. When preparing for a particular track, there are some key bits of information you need to know before you create the setup. First, I take a close look at the track design from a top-down perspective to spot vital points and get a plan for the ideal racing line. I also watch real onboard laps outside the game. This is important for new tracks obviously, but also if changes have been made to the track layout between MotoGP games. In-game, I train a lot using time attack to get a feeling for the new physics of each MotoGP version. It helps me find the setup which works best for me and get along with my ride. You need to know the fundamental changes in physics from one game to another really well, before you can assist setups correctly again. It's the most important thing. I could benefit from my knowledge about former MotoGP games in the past, but sometimes, and especially MotoGP 21, it feels like I need to develop a completely new understanding of physics. Some tracks really can be a challenge in MotoGP. My highlights include Austin and Portimao due to changes in gradients, and Silverstone as it's pretty long. That's why this stage of preparation can be frustrating sometimes, but don't let it get you down. If you practice often enough, you will find your confidence. These routines haven't really changed over the past years and have worked out pretty well for me. But what definitely changes over the span of a season or even the whole lifespan of a MotoGP game is my priorities. When I start training in a new MotoGP game, like now with MotoGP 21, I focus intently on what setups and configurations work and feel best for me. Later in the season I question or rethink setups and try out new things to hopefully be even faster still. By the way, if you want to know how to start with MotoGP 21 properly, have a look at our videos about the perfect career start and general tips. This is a perfect moment to tell you that you should always take care of your physical and mental condition as well. Make sure you drink enough water during your sessions, for example. And no matter how determined and disciplined you are, take regular breaks. I usually take a 5-10 minutes break after 45 minutes of riding. It keeps my focus on point. I also decide to separate time trial and racing practice sometimes, so I do the time trial in the morning and racing in the afternoon. In between I have the time to clear my mind and assess my practice session through. Sometimes I go to the gym or run around to stay fit and to free my mind as well. Let's have a short roundup again. Maybe you can get some inspiration from these routines for yourself. Make a detailed plan about the next track to race at and try to identify an ideal line. Practice in time trial to get a proper understanding of the physics and lines, as well as your fastest qualifying setup. Race against real-life opponents to adjust your setup for racing conditions. Everything is different with traffic. Take care of your physical condition. A focused mind lives in a healthy body. Don't forget that there are probably other approaches that could work too, as everyone is different. But in the end, it always boils down to hard work. Do you have your own routines or tricks for MotoGP? Don't hesitate to share them in the comments. For more esports racing content in general, visit overtake.gg or our YouTube and other social channels. I wish you all the best for your upcoming races. Take care and bye bye!